Yo, what's up, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby. And today I'm going to be showcasing you guys Cyframes after the ban list when we lost the GOAT himself. Don't you hate when somebody else that's playing a card that doesn't belong to their deck absolutely ruins a strategy for you? Well, welcome to my world. The man who lost Dinlong and True King Lithosagem for no reason at all. Why me? Why Dino players? This is why I hate Dinos. Why? Why did they have to ruin such a good card? Why? But Cyframes are still a playable deck, don't get me wrong. But they are low-key power crept, high-key power crept with the 1 Omega. So in order to keep the deck competitive, I had to play a lot more hand traps in here. I had to put in some cards and take some cards out. Just so they can still be able to hang with the top dogs, you know? Because it is a negate dot deck, and when you think of a negate dot deck, negates are pretty much good against any deck, and no matter how good a deck is, playing through negates is really difficult, and this deck is really strong with pumping out negates. That reason alone gives it viability pretty much against any deck. No matter what deck it is, it's still going to be able to tank with it. So starting off with the main deck, the only normal summon of the deck, I'm playing 3 Thunder King Ryo, your anti-searcher. I wanted to play Shared Rides over Ryo, but I felt that a viable field presence as a 19 beater really helps, because a lot of people that figure out how Cyframes play, and then those of you who already know how the deck works, most people, in order to beat it, they just do nothing. They just like set monsters, flip them, and then attack directly, so that you don't get to react to anything that they do and negate it. But with Thunder King Ryo, you have a very solid field presence, a powerful normal summon that's kind of like, you know, what Thunder Dragon Colossus is trying to be. But this card's really insane. You don't really search that much, so it doesn't hurt you. And it's cool because it tributes itself to negate summon, so it keeps the field clear, because in order for Cyframes to resolve, you have to control no monsters. So keep that in mind. So this deck is really proactive and reactive at the same time. So triple Thunder Dragon, Thunder King Ryo. Next up for your hand traps, we play a lot. We play triple Ash Blossom. We have triple Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries. Freaking love this hand trap, this format. We have double Ghost Ogre. Ghost Ogre has lower impact in certain matchups, so I didn't want to triple up on it. But the hand traps that have high impact against nearly everything that's good right now, I play 3 of. And then we also have double Veiler. So Veiler and Ogre are still really strong against Gokis and Dark Warriors. Because in the combo sequences, if they don't have a call by, or, you know, like a what's it called? Midbreaker, you can still ogre with Firewall, ogre the you know, summon sorceress, and then turns over. And then more hand traps. The Cyframe hand traps. We have triple alpha. This deck is really skillful, by the way. It really is. It is anti-meta, but oh boy. Like, it could be meta if we still had 3 Omegas. And if, you know, you just really have to be dedicated. And to prove, whenever I want to prove that a deck's good, I normally take it, right? So people didn't believe me, so I took Cyframes, and I beat like full power spirals 5 times in a row and ended up getting first place. It was crazy. It was really good. And all I wanted to do at that time was just prove, because people were like, oh, no, you're lying. You hype up bad decks. And I was like, bro, this is not a bad deck. So I had to prove it, and took it and won with it. And I was like, come on now, bro. I'm not going to sit here and just make stuff up and lie to people. This deck is really good, though. It is. Triple beta. These guys are more important now because they go into the level 7 synchros, and that's better because Zeta can still clear herself off the field, whereas with the level 2 guys, they make Omega one time and he clears himself. After that, in order to resolve them again and still get the benefit, they have to synchro, but the synchros you're going to, like, stay on the field. Like, the best one's Stardust, but, like, they have to do something to pop in order for you to negate. Otherwise, you're going to control monsters and you can't resolve your other Cyframes. So, yeah, now the way the deck has to be played, you have to focus more on the level 1 ones, which kind of sucks, because the better negators are these guys. Triple Delta. Delta's a spell negator. I really like him a lot, especially in the Sky Striker matchup. If you could just resolve one good Delta on an engage and then summon Omega, clear another card out their hand, they're probably done at that point. And yeah, and Omega banishes itself from the field for cost. So if, like, on summon of Omega, if they activate Widow Anchor, even though they have turn player priority, you can chain Omega to them because they've already performed an action. Then we have triple Gamma. Obviously, even if you don't play Cypherns, you know what Gamma does, and that's the funny thing. Also, yeah. The number of hand traps we play is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. These actually negate things, whereas this one doesn't. So that's 15, 17, 19, 3 impermanences. You have 22 hand traps in the main deck. So yeah, this is a really powerful going second deck if you want it to be. But it's fun to go first too. It's really fun to go first and have the nuts. Like the field spell, all your side frame guys, and then your hand traps, and you just keep wrecking everything, every deck, everything. Really strong. And then for the main heart and soul of the deck, the main combo piece you need always, and a hand, grave, or field, just somewhere, not field, hand, grave, or deck, he needs to be somewhere, is Cipher and Driver. You got to play 3 of this card. It's really unfortunate because he is a vanilla, he's a brick, but you can summon him from hand. All the side frames, whenever they resolve their effects, they summon this guy from hand, deck, or grave. And if you don't do something with them on the field, they banish themselves at the end of the turn. So yeah, there are games when you're going second and you don't have the field spot, obviously, where you end up resolving these guys and summoning a driver and banishing him. So you need to play 3 because as long as you can keep 1 in rotation, you can still live. But sometimes you have to waste drivers going second. And when you don't have the field spell, you're still wasting drivers. But you can put them back. All you got to do is establish an Omega. Then we have Multi-Threader, a pseudo driver. It just really helps for the Black Rose play where you go alpha. Search out your side frame circuiter, side frame multi-threader, and then synchro for Black Rose. Black Rose will destroy everything, but you discard this instead and your field spell stays. So after you Black Rose, you can still go Gamma for Omega, and that's game. So that's it for the monsters. You play a lot of monsters, but that's how the deck works. For spells, the best spell of the deck, 3 Foolish Barrel Goods. You got to play 3. It doesn't matter if you draw 2. You need to open this. This searches out your whole deck because you dump the Overload, and the Overload searches any Ciphering card except itself. But that's okay because you can search Overload with Alpha. So yeah, your deck does have searchers. It's not super consistent, but it is pretty fair. And then for our field spell, we play 3 Circuits. These are the only spells you play in the deck. Circuit is amazing. For this list, I'm testing it with no terraformings because this is the going second build, and if there's a Colossus on the field, I can't really search. So I wanted to take out all the searchers from my deck so that way I don't draw any deck cards in that matchup. And then at the same time, you do have a way to search this through Alpha and search it through Foolish Barrel Goods and search it through your Trap and Metaverse. So yeah, it's still really accessible. But yeah, this allows you to keep putting your drivers in grave because you synchro every time you summon the side frames to negate. So you negate Omega, rip a card out the hand. That's how I used to play this deck. That's how I would always win going first. When I would open with a Foolish Barrel Goods and a Delta and a Gamma, I would literally go Delta, negate, summon Omega, rip a card. They're at 4 cards in hand now. And then they'll be like, okay, well, I activate this monster effect, and then I'm like, Gamma, negate, summon Omega, rip another card out there. And they're in 2 cards now. They're like, Soul Charge? Delta, negate, rip your last card out of your hand, summon 3 Omegas. They come back, you attack for game. But yeah, I think that's another reason why Omega's at 1. Because this deck actually is really savage with the hand looping. You rip your opponent's hand apart while you're negating their plays. It's pretty broken. 3 Overload. It banishes cards. It's broken. It's not once per turn. It's once per copy. So multiples of these, they start to stack. This helps you to just get maximum. It helps you get maximum advantage of your side frames when they're going to get banished anyways. Like if you don't synchro with them, they're going to get banished anyway. So you might as well flip this, banish them, and then banish a card while you're at it. Because what it does is it banishes a side frame from hand or field, and then it banishes any card on the field face down. That outs Thunder Dragons. It outs pretty much anything. It doesn't really matter what it is. It just outs stuff. And yeah, like you can just negate with Gamma, summon him and your driver, and then flip 2 of these because they're not once per turn. Banish the Gamma and the driver that were going to be banished anyways because you didn't synchro. And you banish 2 more cards, so you've negated and you pick 2 cards apart. And then while it's in grave, you can banish it and then add any ciphering card from your deck to your hand. And you can loop it with Omega. You can banish, search, Omega, put it back, banish, search. So you get a +1 every standby. It gets really nasty when we used to be able to summon multiple Omegas because you would search 4 cards out of your deck, which is broken. And then we have 3 Metaverse for your field spell. You want to flip your field spell on your opponent's turn and just game them. The field spell is a win condition. It's one of the win conditions. And then you guys, 3 Impermanents, baby. Because you can never have too many hand traps. You can never have too much negates. And like I said, it is a going second build. If you ever need a search, turn off the Colossus. If you're staring at a Goki Extra Link board, bait the Trigate, try to break their board. It's a little difficult with that, but normally they won't be able to do so because you have 22 hand traps and every single one of them is good against Goki. Impermanence, Veiler, Ogre are all good against Goki. Winter Cherries, Ash Blossom, Gamma, Delta, they're all good against Goki. So yeah, you have a lot of ways to stop them. You open with too many ways to stop them. They're not going to be able to extra link you in the first place. But yeah, if they do resolve the extra link and they Gumblar you, you're probably already losing. Unless you had these bad boys in your hand and they discarded those off Gumblar. Yeah, bro, that's free. They just gave you pluses, bro. Pluses. Main deck. Main deck's 43. Yeah, I know. That's a weird number, huh? Extra deck. 1 Omega, the GOAT, baby. It's the GOAT. I'm sorry, Omega. I'm sorry that everybody that wasn't playing Cyframes had to do you like that. I'm sorry, bro. You don't deserve it. Triple Zeta, you gotta play 3 even though he recycles himself because you summon 3 on your opponent's turn now. This is the new way to play Cyframes. It sucks, right? Because like Zeta's not as good as Omega. Like he's really not, but Zeta does add Cyframe cards from grave to hand, so wake up, bro. Wake up. I'm up. Alright. Yeah, he does add Cyframe cards from grave to hand, which is pretty broken because you add back your Gammas and you know your trap, your field spell, anything, really, anything. And these always recycle themselves. I just really wish that there's another way to hand loop. Like, you guys, find me a level 8 Synchro that rips cards out of your opponent's hand that's not Omega, so I can play it. Stardust, Spark, and Stardust. I just like Spark because he protects my field spell, and he just helps me to push in general. But Stardust is better because he clears himself from field, and just consistently comes back. Scrap Dragon, a level 8 that you can summon under pressure. Out of Floodgate, out of monster, clear your field, control no monsters. You can continue with your win condition. And then finally, 1 Black Rose. You can play multiples, but Omega does put stuff back, which is actually pretty clutch. So yeah, you just use Omega, put himself and the Black Rose back. You got 2 extra deck monsters back, and you're going to summon them again. Then for all the cherries target, Firewall, Kagari, Hexia, Electrum, Summer Summoner, Totally Awesome, and Nova. I would be having Dante as a cherries target as well, but I can't find my Dantes. Yeah, I have, you know, this is for Cyber Dragons because they're going second deck too. And if they go first, you can just cherries their Nova, which makes it really hard for them to play, but not impossible. Toad for the Ultra guys. Boy, I'm asleep. Toad for the Paleozoic matchup. Hexia for the Altergeist matchup, Pendulum decks, Thunder Dragons, Sky Strikers, every single deck that I hate. The degenerate decks, man, the decks that don't even deserve their wins. They don't even work for it. Yeah, that concludes the deck profile, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it. This is a really cool deck. It's pretty trolly. You know, Cyframes and Heralds are like renowned as decks that nobody ever wants to get, you know, matched up against. Like nobody ever wants to play against these decks. It's like, yeah, don't get me wrong, they're not meta, but it's like people respect these decks and fear them in the sense that they would like never want to intentionally get paired up against this deck. Like imagine if you're playing any deck in the world and they're like, all right, you're playing against Cyframes or you're playing against Herald and they're going first. You'd be like, dang, it doesn't matter what deck it is, they're gonna negate everything that I do. And that's how this deck works. God bless you guys. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Definitely stay tuned for future content. Man, I got to go to sleep. In 1 week, in 7 days, I've literally gotten 13 hours of sleep. In 7 days. 13 hours of sleep. Try to divide that by 7. It's like I got like less than 2 hours of sleep every day if you divide it by days. But actually, there was 3 days where I didn't sleep at all. I just took little naps in between, like on my breaks. And then just today, I got like 2 hours of sleep, I think. And then I had to keep, man, I really hate this sometimes. Like, sometimes I splash hot water on my face, and the hot water wakes me up. And then I have to stay up, and I have to get up, and I have to jog, run a lap around my apartment complex, and then hop in the gym real fast just to rejuvenate myself. So, you guys, I'm done. Like, I'm burnt out. My week is up. I'm like, everything I needed to do is just pretty much just finished. I know it's not the end of the week, but the week is over for me. Like, this was a full 7-day cycle. I'm done with everything that I needed to do. I paid off everything I needed to pay off. I even bought the Thunder Dragons for you guys. I'm about to sleep for like 18 hours, bro. I'm off. And I'm not doing any work. I'm not doing no videos, nothing, bro. Today's mine. This is my day, okay? Peace out, y'all.